Okay, we're here with Coach Mike Smith of the Wynford Royals. In this segment, Coach, we like to kind of just allow people to find out a little bit about the coaches in here. So, you played here at Wynford, and kind of I guess the start of maybe the glory years of Wynford basketball. So, one of the first things though we like to find out is kind of like your coaching journey. Like where'd you start at, and how did you get to this point of being the head coach of the Wynford Royals?
I'd probably go back to sitting in a psychology class that Rob Sheldon taught and I took in high school, and I think that's where he kind of let me do things in the classroom, and I think he thought I might someday want to be a coach, and kind of pushed that on me a little bit. Playing for him, I think that's where it all started, my thoughts of coaching. Once I got out of college, we ended up in Toledo, Ohio. My wife worked in Toledo at the time, and when we married, we went up there. I ended up at Cardinal Stritch.
Okay.
Really good Catholic, school. Had some success here in the last few years. When we were there, we played in the Toledo City League, so I got my eyes open early.
That's where the Toledo City League was loaded.
Yes, and we were a smallest school, obviously, in that league. So I got a 23-year-old JV coach going to Toledo Scott, and Toledo Start, and all the Woodward and all the places that were probably not the best place for me, and especially my wife, who went to the games, to sit at. But it was a really great experience for me. I was there for about 5 years. Then we moved back here to get closer to home. Ended up at Seneca East for a few years. Did some junior high. Didn't really do any high school. Got here then and helped Tim Ersman, with the junior high. I was kind of in charge of the junior high program at the time then, and got to coach my son in junior high. Again, I really never thought about, getting back into the high school level. And then when Steve Moore got the job, asked me to come help again, and helped him for 3 or 4 years as varsity assistant, and then got the head coaching job. So it's kind of a weird scenario. I was old when I got the first head coaching job, but kind of glad the way I did it. I took off some years and watched my kids grow up, so I was in and out of coaching a lot. And, I think I wouldn't change it. I got to see them grow up and wasn't away from them, so it's worked out pretty well.
I think as everybody kind of takes over a basketball program, coach kind of has a philosophy. So what would you say your philosophy of coaching is?
I think if you watch us play, it's pretty evident that we like to play fast. Mm-hmm. Lots of ball pressure, mostly through presses. Probably our three-quarter trap is our forte. We got a lot of length. I don't know if that's every year we would do that. It just depends. I think real good coaches adapt sort of to what they have, especially high school coaches, because you're never going to have the same team every year. I've been lucky to have most of these guys for 3 years now, so we've been able to kind of build upon, what we started. The first year that we took over, I would say that maybe I ran things that we shouldn't have, but I knew what was coming up, so we kind of instilled that first year. We kind of took our lumps, but I knew the younger kids would, benefit from that. So I think you're seeing the benefits now after, last year we won 13. After winning 5 the first year and won 13, I would hope we get to pass 13 this year. So.
One of the other things I think that's always interesting with coaches is, I remember like when I started coaching, it was kind of the Bob Knight, theory, and then you kind of follow some different guys. So you already mentioned Rob was kind of an influence, but if you maybe mention whether it's high school coaches, college coaches, pros, or even in any sport, are there any kind of coaches that maybe have influenced like that philosophy or how you want to play?
Yeah, I think just starting with Rob, the early years of Rob, because Rob changed his philosophy, I think, as he got older. They went more defensive minded and slowed the game down a little bit. But when I played, it was helter-skelter up and down. We pressed, we pushed the ball. We were the running Royals back then.
Yep.
We were scoring 75 points a game without the three-point line back then. That's a lot of points. Then, luckily enough, I went to college at Ohio Wesleyan, and our coach, Gene Mahaffey, played the same style. So I've grown up in this style.
Gene Mahaffey would be like the guy that taught the Euro step before the Euro step was ever popular.
Yes, he really pushed that, and people thought he was nuts, but he was actually right.
Yes, he was.
And nobody would believe him when he was teaching that, but when we had to learn that too. That was one of the rules. We had to learn his new steps. But yeah, I think I've just been around that a lot, and I feel comfortable in that situation. I don't know, maybe I'm stubborn, maybe I don't know any better, or maybe that's...
Well, I think one of the things as a coach, you got to kind of feel comfortable with what you do, and
Yeah,
it's you're going to stress what's important to you, and that's what's going to be important to your basketball team.
I've always been told to be yourself, and that's really me. And
Yep.
I feel, like you said, I feel the most comfortable probably teaching that. And I think our kids, you know, especially the last 2 years that people have watched us, I think we do it pretty well. Maybe we're not the greatest half-court defensive team, but a lot of times we don't need that. You know, when we get to tournament time, as we've talked about this, we're going to have to play. We're going to have to sit down and play man-to-man. It's going to have to happen. So we've been working on that over the last few weeks and trying to get better at that because it's something that's going to happen.
So you talked about your coaching journey, like, and now you're the varsity coach here at Wynford. What's like the favorite part of coaching that you've experienced over your years?
I think just, you know, locker room interaction with kids. We have a rule that we started 3 years ago with the kids that everybody has to say something positive when they leave. They either fist pump or, you know, high five, say goodbye to each other. And we've had times, I tell this story a lot, I've had kids that have walked out into the parking lot to leave and said, oh my gosh, I forgot to say something to coach. Walked all the way back in just to fist pump. It's those relationships, obviously, that you build with the kids. And just getting to know them on a human level, I guess, instead of just a basketball level. That's the exciting part. And then they come back.
Yep.
You know, you have
Yep.
kids come back and, you know, still talk to you and want to know what's going on and asking you how the programs, how things are going. And it's just exciting to build those relationships, I think.
Let's flip it though. What's the least
I don't really
least favorite
enjoy
thing?
this right here. I'm not the most, I don't know. I'm not the most outgoing probably.
Hey, these guys are taking me out of my comfort zone too,
A
so
little bit.
I was much like you.
Yes, I don't like to be in the limelight. This isn't for me. I tell my kids, this is your team. This is not my team. I'm just like the captain of the ship, keeping us afloat. And I don't think it should be about us as coaches. We're not out there playing. It's about the kids.
So, Mike, we appreciate you taking time out, and we wish you guys in the Wynford world the best of luck the rest of the
We
year.
appreciate you guys coming.
All right, thanks.